Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. All right, today we're going to watch me play Marty, who is a 599 Fargo, a even race to 5, alternate to break 9 ball. This is round number 4 of the tournament. All right, guys, I want to let you know right away Marty plays really good. Clearly, he's a 599. I think he's a very slow player. Normally, I cut out when people take a long time to think about a shot, but it's usually only one or two, maybe three shots for a whole match. I left all of it in, almost all of it in. I did cut some out, believe it or not. But I left it in for a couple reasons. I want you guys to fully see what I was up against in this match. And also, I'm curious on your opinion on what you think of Marty's pace of play. Would you consider him a slow player like I do? And if you do or don't, what do you consider a slow player? And also, let me know in the comments, like, how do you guys play against slow players? How do you handle playing against slow players? That's why I left it all in. This is going to be a video that's going to be tough to watch. For those that do not like slow play, I get it. And for that reason, I did think about cutting it all out, but I decided to leave it in. See if we can't talk about it in the comments. What's your opinion on slow play? How do you handle it? How do you play against it? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments after watching this match. I had never met Marty before. He was telling me that he was from Missouri, St. Joseph. They call it St. Joe. Him and I believe his son were also there. Good player as well. In fact, his son is playing on the table just to the right of this. I will let you guys know that, slow players, it's difficult. It is difficult for me to remain focused, stay in rhythm. But, it's something we all come up against. So I am curious what you guys think, what your opinions are of this match, how you deal with it, what you even think of the pace. I do like players who are deliberate. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I don't think you should just get up and fire at balls. But I think we all know what I mean when I say slow, especially after watching this match. But if you disagree, let me know that too. If you think his pace of play is fine, hey, tell me that as well. I can tell you right now, the 8 ball is tough to cut in that corner pocket there. I'm sitting in a chair kind of looking down at it, and I'm not convinced you can even throw it in. It's close, but like I said, I'm not convinced. My dog's barking. Sorry, guys. She does that. Problem here is making this ball and getting a shot on the 7. So, you know me, I'm going to play safe. I don't know if Marty thought I just missed that or what with the way he approached the table, but I was 100% looking to get behind those balls. can see Marty wants to look too. I'm telling you, it's close. I make a good hit, can't throw it enough. Not real happy with the results here. So right here, I'm feeling pretty relieved. You know, there's no way I should be back at the table right here shooting at this 8-ball, but I am. So you need to try to take advantage of it. Hit that ball pretty good. All right, we take a 1-0 lead, guys. All right, guys, on to game number 2. Marty is breaking. He makes the ball in the break. Doesn't have a great offensive opportunity on the 1. He needs to figure something out. Feel like I need to play the Jeopardy song here if it wouldn't get copyrighted. Yeah, again, guys, I would normally cut all that out, but it was so frequent through this entire match that I just want you guys to see what it was like to play the match and get your opinion on this style of play. How do you feel about it? How do you deal with it? You know, that's why I'm leaving it all in. I understand if you guys can't watch this whole video. Believe me, I get it. It was tough to play it. But that's why it's here. If you want to engage down in the comments, I'd love to hear your opinions and your strategies. I mean, I'll tell you that I really try not to even think about it, try not to dwell on it, try not to get emotional, because it just doesn't do you any good. However, I did get on a bit of an emotional tilt during all this. Certainly was affecting my play, and so that was on my mind. The pace was definitely getting to me. I told a friend after this match was over that that's probably the most emotional I've been while playing pool in a long time. I don't show it outwardly. I didn't respond or react, at the handshake or anything like that, but I knew internally I was having a hard time. The stuff I did cut out, I think there was 2 or 3, I can't remember for sure, 2, maybe 3 bathroom breaks as well. Uh, None of them by me. It was a little surprising the way I was feeling about it because we do have some slow players in our area. And I guess that they're just a little easier for me to deal with at this point because I'm used to them. I know what to expect going into the match. And so I'm kind of prepared for it. And like I said, I had never met Marty, never played Marty. So this was kind of all being dumped on me at once. And I think that did play a role in how I handled it, or how I didn't handle it, however you want to look at it. Because I just wasn't able to prepare or know that it was coming. So, but if I ever play Marty again, I will know, and I do think that uh, I'll have a different outlook heading into the match of what to expect. All right, we take the first 2 games up 2-0, feeling pretty good about things, and we're breaking. Break and run out would be real nice here. Speed things along and get up 3-0. But we can't get them all down on the break. So there goes that plan. Yeah, guys, I'm all for if it's a tough situation, take your time, figure it out. I got no problem. I understand, and I would want to be given the same grace as well. But I think we all know that there's certain situations that just do not require the amount of time that gets taken, and that's why, there's a shot clock. Once you hit a certain level, it just, 30, 40 seconds is kind of the max you get in one extension. Because pool just is really tough to watch when you take longer than that on what really ought to be shots that do not require even that much time to be taken. But somehow it is. Just taking a little sip of water. Make sure you stay hydrated. It's good for you. I'm just looking at all the different kicking angles, see what's available, see how likely it is that I can even make contact. If I determine I can't, next best thing we can do is tie 2 balls up. So that's what we go ahead and do. Push the 5 onto the 6. We just have to give up ball in hand. We were going to give up ball in hand there more than likely anyway. Very difficult ball to hit from there. So let's go ahead and give up ball in hand, but make it a tough run out. I told you guys about the coach I took, and always taught me to be a defensive player because my offensive skills weren't very good. But one thing he really would say to me all the time was, you don't sell out. You make them prove it to you. You make them come with a tough shot. You make them come with a tough out. And if they pull it off, you just tip your hat and say, hey, good out. But you can feel good that you made them show you that. And that has always stuck with me when I'm making decisions. I want to make people show it to me. Nothing gets me more triggered than when I just sell out because I'm missing shots that I expect to be making, and then they just get easy outs. Like, it hurts my soul when that stuff's going on because I'm just such a defensive-minded, show-it-to-me type of player. So, but luckily, the better I've gotten, the less that stuff tends to happen. It still does happen, just not as often as it used to. I will tell you something I do think about players that take a long, long time. I think it hurts them. I think you need to find. I think I can play too quick, and I think certain players can play too slow. I think you need to find that happy medium in there. I think you can think long, think wrong. I think that's a real thing. I think that players that take a long time actually hold themselves back a little bit to some degree. Sure, they throw their opponent out of rhythm, but I think ultimately it ends up hurting them as well because you just overthink things and you can't get in a rhythm yourself. Do you think people can play too quickly as well, though? And I can definitely fall into that category at times. So, yeah, just my opinion there. I think you can play too slow. I think you can play too quick. And it definitely hurts you, both strategies. I mean, guys, if I played the Final Jeopardy thinking song, I would have a lot of copyright strikes in this video. So we're just going to throw that out there. Yeah, I don't think that was intentional. I mean, he never went over and looked at that as a possibility, but I don't know. I think if that's what he was trying to do, as much as he evaluates everything, he would have at least went and looked at that angle. The other negative, I think, to being a really methodical player like that is, man, it requires a lot of energy, both physical energy and mental energy, to play at that kind of pace. That's probably one of the reasons why I don't play slower. Is I can get pretty wore out if I slow down too much, and I know it. So my pace of play is kind of always in the back of my mind that I need to take my time, but not so much time that I wear myself out when we get down to, you know, when it starts counting. You play great in the first 3, 4 rounds, but then you get down to one out of the money, one away from one out of the money. That's when you need to be playing well. And I have been in situations where I play really well and I get to there and I'm just completely wore out, both physically and mentally. What about you guys? Does it wear on you to play slower? Do you notice a difference? Let me know. Yeah, as you guys can see here, Marty's a good player. He's got a good stroke, moves the cue nicely through the cue ball. Uh, does usually end up making a good decision once he makes a decision. So this was tough. This was a tough match. You guys are going to see me get a couple rolls later in this match. And I had to laugh to myself, because Marty definitely has gotten a couple rolls in these last couple of games. He makes that ball in the side pocket in the last game and kicks that ball in there. And that's fine. It's part of the game. No big deal. However, when I would get a low roll, and I don't think I really got rolls to the extent that he did. Man, he verbally let me and everyone that could hear him know that he wasn't pleased with that stuff going in my favor. But when it would happen for him, there was just no, recognition that he had just gotten fortunate. So I just kind of had to laugh at it, you know. And I do get that. You can be irritated that your opponent got it, and pretend like it didn't happen for you. But man, it was kind of out of control a little bit, in my opinion. I wasn't sure at this point if Marty could jump or not. Some of the old school players don't jump. Some of them do, some of them don't. You just don't know if you're playing one that can jump or one that's been like, oh, jump cues are illegal. I'm not even going to do it, blah, blah, blah. So I felt like this was going to be an opportunity where I find out if this guy can jump or not. the jump is clearly the shot. I mean, the kick is very, very difficult. I don't even see a good kicking path. So jump over one ball and hit it. You're probably going to give up a shot, but hey, pays to hit them. You might get lucky. He is fumbling around for his jump cue in his bag. Took him a long time to find all the pieces, get them all together. So I'm sitting there thinking, well, maybe this guy doesn't really jump that often. So I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting. Let's see what happens here. Right there, he's looking. He says, I'm not even sure I have the right shaft. And I tell him, you can borrow my jump cue if you want to. And he says, no, 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 it's fine. And I think he actually does use my jump cue. Yeah, I think he does eventually agree to go ahead and use my jump cue. So I let him use my jump cue. And let's see what happens. He's using my jump cue. All right, so yeah, if you're paying attention to that form, and I was, this guy's not much of a jumper. You can tell. He didn't, put a very good jump stroke on that. You can see people who don't jump that well and put that same stroke on it and get over the ball and make contact, but you know that they're a very inconsistent jumper because they just don't have good form and good technique. Not that I have the best form or technique, but I certainly have better form and technique than what was just displayed there. You can see I'm a little irritated because I just didn't get out far enough, making this 3 tougher. The thing is I know, I'm thinking in the back of my mind, guys, that when I get to the table, like I need to keep control of the table because when I give up control of the table, it's going to be a long time before I get back to the table. And not necessarily because my opponents are running racks on me. So it's very stressful when I get to the table. I feel like I can't turn this back over. It even made me second guess playing some safeties because I was like, man, I'm going to have to go sit in a chair and wait a long, long time if I play safe. Yeah, so like I said, I definitely kind of felt myself not handling this very well. Changing the way I play in the game, changing the way I'm thinking. Like, it's really impacting me. A little surprised at how quick he went from the one ball he made to that next shot. That was really quick for him. He ended up missing it. It was a tough shot, but yeah, that was pretty quick pace for him. Yeah, in those spots, guys, like I was really second guessing whether I should even try to play safe because how long is it going to be before I get back to the table again? And I never, think like that. A little fortuitous right there, but that's okay. That's part of the game. I'm not going to make a big deal out of someone getting a roll in 9 ball. Yeah, Marty would play really well, make some good shots. Spins the ball a lot, guys. He was definitely like an old school player. And I'm not saying young guys don't do it either, but I don't know. I think some of you know what I mean by old school player. But occasionally, just something like that would happen, and I'd be like, well, "That's wild." Why were you putting that much English on that? It just didn't make any sense in my head. But we're going to go ahead and take advantage of the error. I consider an error when you didn't need to put any English on that and just pocket the ball, and shape would have been automatic. So, oh, someone kicked the camera. I do have a little remote control, guys, that helps me do the score. It's like a little mini game controller, and one button does my score up and down, and another couple of buttons do my opponent's scores up and down. And I do walk by and check to make sure that's functioning properly. Every now and then, I walk by and check the camera, and I also check to make sure it hasn't been kicked, and it's not even on the table anymore. So that's an extra added element that I need to do in between. When I give up the table, I just go and look, make sure everything's okay. Most of the time, everything's fine, but sometimes it's not. I got a video coming up, probably the next 2-3 weeks, where I hit my score to go up 1, and I only hit the button 1 time, but it jumps to 3. Luckily, I went over and caught it and was able to get it corrected almost right away. But yeah, it's the first time it ever happened. Yeah, one click of the button should just go to 1, and it went to 3. At first, I thought maybe I started out when I set the camera into the stand, and I accidentally, because you can bump the screen and take the score up. Thought, well, maybe I accidentally bumped it a couple times and it was sitting at 2 already, and then I made it 3. But when I went back and edited the video, I realized, no, I just hit it 1 time through my controller, and it went from 0 to 3. I'm just saying to let you guys know, like, it's just one extra thing I have to deal with, playing the match, is worrying about, is the score correct? Is the camera correct? And I do make mistakes with the score. I'm a human being, but it's just a little extra to have to deal with. If you're thinking about doing this as well, just something to consider. You got to get practiced at dealing with all that too. Yeah, right there, I get a little fortunate, don't scratch. And as we're walking by each other, Marty's huffing and puffing, and definitely let it be known that, he thinks it's ridiculous that I didn't scratch right there. So, I guess only one person's allowed to get rolls in this match without it being nonsense. Did it again, guys. I think on that one I was probably chuckling inside because I knew he was going to be pretty irritated. But, you know, he's had some rolls, and I literally haven't voiced any displeasure in them. I didn't sigh deeply, like no response whatsoever to any of it. You know, it's just part of the game. Yeah, so here I'm gotta shoot this combo, and I knew it. I just wanted to leave a natural make it, and then the cue ball is gonna naturally roll into an automatic shape on the next ball if I make it. And that's what we end up with, but we push that ball, making it really difficult to get on the 3 now. I think it's the 4 ball we pushed, making it very challenging on the 3. Right now, I'm trying to decide if I want to try to get in that small window for shape or just stay underneath it and play safe. And you guys know normally I would stay underneath it and play safe, but I'm not playing like myself. I don't want to give the table up. I want to stay at it. And so I choose to do something I normally wouldn't do, hit it too firm, and end up with no shot. Now I'm kicking. Yeah, so I'm just kind of out of character here based on not wanting to give the table up because I know how long it's going to take before I get to shoot again. I'm not saying what I'm doing is right. It's not. And normally I wouldn't do that. I would still do the correct thing. But I told you guys, I was definitely out of sorts here. I wasn't prepared for this, and it definitely threw me off throughout this whole match. And I started making bad decisions. Yeah, I'm on the wrong side of this. So the cue ball is going away from the 5. So I'm trying to decide how to make this and get on the 5. I don't come up with a very good shot. Yeah, so we're just trying to. That's exactly what I'm trying to do there, guys. Just bank it up on the 8. Hope it don't line up. Send the cue ball across. I just didn't spin the cue ball enough to make sure I caught the second rail and avoid the scratch, and it goes right in and scratches. I give a ball in hand. Now, luckily, this isn't an automatic combination. You know, it still needs to be hit pretty good. It's not just sitting there dead straight. So you can tell he's not even sure, you know, if he wants to shoot it. So, or who knows, you know, why he's walking around so much, but. Yeah, just trying to bank that up to the middle of the end rail, hit it way too thin, and you know, sell out right here is essentially what we did. So I was second guessing myself so much during this match, guys. Do I just go for this bank? Maybe I should be shooting this bank. Maybe I should just try to bank this in and get shape. Which usually those thoughts are never in my head. I'm just gonna play the safe. No issues about it. But there was extenuating circumstances that had me second guessing everything and all the decisions I was making. So, and that is my bad. That has nothing to do with Marty. You know, Marty's just being him. He's not doing this intentionally. It's how the guy plays. But I certainly let it get to me and affect the way I play. Yeah, I know you come over and look at the side pocket, but I mean, I don't even know why you would even look at the side pocket there when, you know, coming out to the center of the table and shooting this ball in the corner pocket was always the correct shot. But, you know, it is what it is, I guess. Yeah, guys, right here, I'm feeling like I'm just completely out of rhythm. I'm completely out of my mental state. You know, I'm just out of it. I'm honestly feeling kind of like I, you know, just want this match to be over with. You know, I either want to win the next games in a row for this to be done, or for him to win the next games in a row for this to be done. Like, I just don't really want this to continue. And then he would do something like that, and it would kind of re-energize me. I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and take advantage of this. Let's just go ahead and snap this, you know, this set off right here, right now. Yeah, I come too far now. Getting back on the 5 is pretty difficult. Now, normally here, guys, I'm just going to pinch it, and even if I run into the 8 ball right there and I end up with a tougher cut on the 5, I really don't care. You know, I don't mind that shot, and it comes with a lot of built-in safeties too if you don't make it. But this is where I was thrown off my normal game. I felt like I need to be good on the 5 to ensure that I make it, because I don't even want to play safe, remember? Like, I don't want to give up the table. So I try a crazy bank shot right there and don't get anywhere near making it. Like, I'm just completely out of my normal game plan and my thought processes at this point. I wouldn't even say I realized it as the match was going on. It's more going back, editing this, and sitting here watching it with you guys. It's apparent that I was completely thrown off. Yeah, that was a good shot. And that was good. You can go around, look at and see where you want to be in the side pocket. That's all good stuff right there. All right, guys, 4-3. I need two, and Marty needs one. And again, I'm in the chair feeling like I just want this to be over. I know that's the wrong attitude. I'm not saying that I'm correct thinking that. I'm not. It's 100% wrong. But I was really frustrated at this point in the match. Excuse me. Yeah, it's pretty bad pool right there, guys. Yeah, guys, so I just want to let you know this is why I left everything in to kind of let you see why you kind of see some of the things out of me that you do see throughout this match. Because if I cut it all out, you guys think I'm just playing bad, and I don't necessarily think that's the case. I do think I played bad. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying, but I think there's a reason for it. It's not a good reason. I need to handle these situations better, but definitely was a reason why, decisions were being made that were definitely out of character for me and shots being missed that normally aren't. So, yeah, no rail. So, ball in hand to Marty. And if I just touch a rail right there, guys, he would have been really, it'd been a good safety. But we didn't hit a rail. He's on the hill, and I feel like it's it. This is it. Marty has shown enough that I think he's going to run this out. I don't know how you guys are feeling, but, I think this is it. The match is over. Yeah, now it's definitely over, right? Yeah, I get all this, guys. He's on the hill. He's looking to close me out. All understandable. Yeah, all day this was happening, guys. You would just hit a weird shot that would really get away from you. And that is exactly what happened to Marty here. We were all kind of dealing with it. But it got him. I had watched Marty play, of course, against me right here, and saw him in a few other matches. I was convinced that he was going to cut this in. I'd seen him shoot shots like this and hit them really well the whole day. So yeah, he cuts it right in, spins the cue ball, scratches. I'm asking him if he wants me to shoot it. I think he says no, gives it to me. Hill to hill, guys. Okay, right here, guys, I am feeling like, all right, like it can't. We got one last game no matter what, whether I win or whether I lose. So let's just go ahead and win it, make all this worth it. Because if I lose this, I would have dealt with all this and let myself get in a funk and play bad for literally no reason. All right, so I push out right there, guys, to pretty clever shot. You can get through those balls right there and hit the one, but there's not much you can do with it unless you're a defensive minded player. But there's not much offensively that can be done. So, pretty clever shot out of me right there because if you're not a defensive minded player, then you're just not going to see anything. And you're definitely giving it back to me. But there was definitely a defensive place in there. And something's got my dog riled up, guys. Yeah, so again, right there, I'm not even trying to make that ball. We're 100% just banking that away, playing safe, keeping control of the game. We've gone through too much to do anything wild. I'm trying to pull myself back to my style of play here. I really am thinking that. It's time to just be me for this one last game. Nothing else matters. Nothing that brought us here matters. It's all in this one game. Yeah, I can't explain it. Like once I got to hill, like I just felt almost relieved like it's over. Either way, I'm either going to lose this and it's over, or I'm going to win this and it's over. And once I said that to myself in my head, I thought, well, screw that. Like, let's just go ahead and win it then. Let's not even care about, how we got here. It don't even matter. Like where was this at? I was going for these crazy shots and trying to do all this stuff I don't normally do, but this game I just decided no, all that's over. If we get in trouble, this guy's not going to get a look. Right here, I'm trying to determine what the cue ball is going to do coming off of this ball, off the 4 ball. So I decide I can cut it in and hit the left side of the 8 and use that to get the cue ball rolling where I want it to for shape. Make a good shot right there. Make another good shot. All right, guys, right here, the only thing go wrong here is scratching on the side pocket, pulling shape on this 8 ball. I'm sorry, on the 9 ball. Guys, we're going to escape out of here with a hill victory. Hey, I want to let you guys know, he started to unbolt his cue right there, but then he didn't. So, I wasn't going to shoot if he unbolts because it's, you're forfeiting the match. I want to let you guys know the next match, I play the highest Fargo-rated player to ever be on the channel. So definitely stick around. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you in the next match. All right, guys. Later.